Hello everyone, Death Stimulator here, bringing you some more naval action. So, we were able to pick a fight with 8 Constitutions. We've got 2 Bolognas, a Belpool, and a Pavel. This may actually be a bit of a tight match. We're not really in any danger, but you never know. And right off the bat I'm going to take an absolute clobbering. It was a little bit later than I would have liked. But we should be able to slide in at a nice angle and kind of avoid a fair bit of fire. Not all of it, of course, but enough. And if we take these shots, it should let our allies get a bit closer, and then things will get a bit more mixed up and we won't have to be taking sustained fire over a long period. Only real thing I'm concerned about is actually getting caught on fire, rather. Getting set on fire. Catching fire. I was hoping that we could get a raking shot off here, but I overestimated how fast the Constitution was turning. I thought the Constitution was turning faster than it actually did, and as a result, we're only going to get a broadside off, which is alright. Not terrible, but not exceptional. And now we're in the thick of it. Fire a top clegg here, probably. A nice little array of shots there. See if those shots ping into Ramsey. One of them did at least. And we're just going to keep turning with the wind. While we are exposing our rear, fortunately it's a limited arc of fire that's going to hit us. So most of the shots are going to miss. And we've ended up forming almost a little line here with our allies as we turn about and start heading back across the wind. We do have to be careful, of course, because we have lost our bowsprit. We're not going to be quite as fast as our allies. So despite the sustained fire we've taken, the number of hits, our guns are still in reasonable numbers. And this just seems to give me a little bit of an indication that gun loss might be dependent on ship class. If you're versing a lower ship class than yourself, you're more likely to lose guns in order to balance it out. Whether this is just a feature that's present with the AI, or whether it actually affects players, is something I'm not entirely sure of, and it'd be interesting to see. We can find somebody who's willing to let us beat up on them. We could check that out. So we've reached the stage where we're going to take on a bit of water. I will be moving over to survival and popping our first repair. I'm going to wait until our pump goes out before I pop our module repair. Because I don't really want to lose out on pumping water. Oh. Did not actually mean to fire off there. That one was just bad timing. I am slightly concerned, to be honest, the amount of damage we're taking. So we're going to about face here. No, maybe not yet. Might be a bit premature. Alright, so we're going to go straight at this point. Just cutting in front of Mikkel there. And ideally move out of fire range. Head downwind a bit further. And put on ball shot and fire back into this engagement. Got a bit of a solid hit there by Bernard. Our extra pump's going to keep us fairly handily above water, regardless of the situation. And so we'll just hold off on that repair until we're actually taking on some water. Never mind, my limited hypothesis on gun loss seems to have been disproven. Mind you, we have taken a lot more damage than we normally would. And we have... there we go. I was about to say, we aren't taking on water yet. Hey, they're shooting their own ships. I certainly have no objections to that. Right, we'll put ourselves at some distance. and see if there's anything we can do to contribute that isn't tanking shots. We're reasonably survivable, but not quite that survivable. And we're also slightly slower on the reload, not just because we have longs, but because we are undercrewed still. Still only flag captain. Poor Jester and the Bell Pool. They seem to be holding up fairly well, though. Ideally, if we can sink one more, that should put us on a fairly even footing. I'm going to risk putting ourselves on gunnery, see if we're actually taking water. That's fairly promising. Despite the battering we've received, we're not sinking just yet. Let's see. There we go. Reasonable number of hits. Gonna set us up with double on our starboard side, see if we can score some hits against Edward Acorn here as we're crossing the wind once again. Oh, Bernard's actually alright in terms of health. They just look like they're in a fairly bad position. And Jester's just copped a major broadside. It's not so good. Can't see how Mikhail's doing. They've taken a bit of damage, but overall they're alright. We have to be careful because we're down to one repair kit. It should be enough to see us through. Do we take some more hits? I've just noticed that we've taken on a little water. Or maybe we're just filling up very slowly. Hey, got one on fire. If we can get some more like that, that would be superb. Darn, Crow's got it on lockdown. Fortunately, we've taken out another one, so that should even things up a little bit. However, we are sailing into a large clutch of them. I'm going to hold course, I think. act like we're breaching their line and just go straight through them. If we can sink Elizabeth McLaughlin there, that should work out quite nicely. Jess is maintaining, which is good. Eesh. Taking a double broadside here. I'm hoping that we can avoid Jester here. Oh yeah, we should be able to avoid them. So that last bit of water's not draining, / it might be getting worse. Yep, that's definitely getting worse. Alright, popping our final repair, doing our module repair as well, just in case, and our surgeon, because we're down to 300 crew, which is the lowest that I can recall seeing us on in quite some time. Alright, switching everything up to bullshot, and once again we're actually going to get our distance. Some of these guys have really got to be sinking shortly. Especially those two. Just try and keep the two other ships between ourselves and the enemy. Fortunately, Jester's not completely surrounded now, which is good. Hopefully we can finish off Edward Acorn here as well. Slightly higher. There we go. Should be almost every shot hitting, apart from a few out the front, which were just a little bit... we're a little bit too long and weren't letting ourselves turn, which we should have. Run, Jester, run! Okay, Acorn's gone, that's good. At least they will be momentarily, no point in us getting too close to a sinking ship. I would like to turn ourselves around, but I think by the time we get that done, it'll be too late. Well, not too late, but just a waste of time. So instead we'll just focus on reloading, and maybe pinging some shots into top Clegg there. About that far. Okay. Don't know how we can see that through the smoke, but I'll take it. Should probably have adjusted a little bit there, but you win some, you lose some. Looks like we were just able to pull this off. Well, that worked out. Jester's still alive, and we really only have one Trinco left. Though they are admittedly in fairly good health considering the pounding we've given them. I guess that's just the one that we didn't end up actually hitting very much. Well, this has been a fairly intense battle. Probably wrap it up here for today. until we've finished off. Well, this darn Trincomalee. No, Constitution. Probably been getting that wrong the entire episode. There are a bunch of Constitutions. That's why it's been so tough. Somebody's repairs going. Did I just... No, I didn't just pop one. That's alright. Occasionally I get very out of position. Looks like it's really chasing Jester Tull there though. Still, at least we'll get to take advantage of one of our module repairs. Save us a little bit. I guess we'll probably have to use one repair kit when we get out of this, just to make sure we're in decent condition for the next battle. Or we might head back to port. Can't imagine our rudder is too healthy at this time, with all those shots clustered around it. I'm very happy that I decided not to repair our sails though, because that would have possibly sunk us. Or we would have had to leave the battle early, which I prefer not to do, where we can avoid it. Alright, well, there we go. As usual, it's been Death Stimulator. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, do let us know, and please consider liking, commenting, favouring, or subscribing, as your support does mean the world to me. I'll see you all next. Yes! Woo! Improved magazine access, exceptional. I've been looking for this for a long time. It's not quite Powder Monkeys, but it's getting close. Alright, catch you guys next time.